What's up, Liron here, and today I want to talk to you about this painting. What's up, Liron here, and I actually just finished this painting and I'm recording this video real quick because I want to share it with you because I was finally successful at doing something that I've been trying to do for a long time now. I'm going to give you a hint and then we're going to talk about it more in details, but what I've been trying to do is reduce more and more my paintings to become less tight and less feeling like constricted and more loose, more impressionistic, more, I guess, simplified, merging more shapes, abstracting whatever I can, but still maintaining a realistic impression, which is something that I finally was able to succeed in doing here. I'm going to talk about it in more details in my process and how I got to do this one. So with that being said, let's get started. Okay, so here's the final painting. Really just got done with it and I'm so happy that I get to show it to you authentically, like everything is still a mess around it. Haven't removed the tape, haven't signed it yet. The paper is still buckled. Hopefully you can see this. So you see it hasn't flattened out yet. And the reason I'm sharing this with you is that I finally was able to nail something that I've been trying to do for a while now, and that is the thing I love the most, no questions, is the impressionistic style, that if you can reduce almost all details and show nothing, like merge all shapes together, have it very abstractly interpreted, but then again, when you take a few steps back, it's still realistic. That's my favorite style in the world, which is why I'm so attracted to artists like Joseph Buckwich, Alvaro Castanet, David Taylor, and many others that have a subset of doing that. This is why I love that kind of art. I want to take a few steps back and see something that looks real, but then when I look up close, there's not a lot of details. It's my favorite. Now, the thing with me is I paint and I try and loosen up. I've been trying to do that for a long time now, and my paintings somehow always end up being a little tight. And now I took a picture of this scene, and I'm going to show it hopefully somewhere here on the video. In the scene, it's very, you just look at the scene and you're immediately inspired to try and do something like this because there's a lot of shadow and then there's a few highlights and a few mid values. And so I really wanted to use this opportunity to try something new. And as I talked about, if you want to break your patterns, you have to sometimes take it to another extreme, which is in this example, this painting. I will try and crop up pictures from the process here on the right. This really is the epitome of what I'm trying to achieve. Of course, the impression could be a little better. I could nail the realism a little more, but generally speaking, this is exactly what I'm trying to achieve on a larger scale, and maybe a little more accurate, a little more realism, but still very impressionistic. So I'm just so happy that I was able to do that. About the process a bit, so I started with a very loose wash, very wet too, of putting in primary colors. I've been using phthalo blue, permanent alizarin crimson, and nickel azo yellow. That's become a favorite combo of mine for the last few weeks. So I used this kind of a very soft Raphael brush that doesn't allow for too much accuracy. I mean, you can get it accurate with the tip, but not always, and it's pretty fat. And I used that brush to get in that first wash that's very, very, very light. And then it just to establish warms and cools and the highlights here. So I put a bit of blue here, a lot of red over this area, and a huge red stain here that you can see through, which I love. Then continued downwards, did a bit of warm, cool plays, mostly warm because I wanted the highlights to be warm. And this was the first wash. Then the second one, I came over all of the darker areas, leaving just very few highlights in between. And then I came back with a third wash and added the darkest darks, and then a rigger brush to do this one. To do some of the details like the lines here and the smaller, really smaller kind of details. Now, I'm very happy with how it turned out, and this is, I just had to share with you because I feel like I nailed this one the way I wanted to. Now, it may not be your favorite, you may love a different style, which is perfectly fine, but for me, this is the thing I've been going for a while now, and so I just had to stop and share. By the way, if you've been following me on Instagram, and I know quite a few of you have joined there and started following me, so thank you so much for that. You get to see all of the steps and me talking a bit more about the process there. I really try to share there as much as I can. The one thing I did learn from this is that within all the Impressionism and merging shapes and all of that, there's still the concern of edges. So I don't think I got these to look exactly like I wanted to. So it's just a matter of practicing doing this or this approach or this particular method a little more, and then getting it down and learning how to just become better at this in particular. But I love it overall. It's not that large piece of paper, it's like an eighth of a sheet, I believe. I love how the stands of the market, you can actually see them, like here there's maybe a type of a shed or a roof above this kind of a stand that sells t-shirts or whatever it is. Here you've got some groceries. There's a lot of people here in the background that make up the background. Very light building here and here. All of these lines that kind of pull you in. The strong contrast and shadow with the ground, which I did too much of a contrast, to be honest. I shouldn't have done it this dark. I actually lifted back some of it. And this main figure here, the figure with the cap that looks like a European tourist, and I'm not kidding, this is usually what they look like here in Israel. This guy really brings out some interesting details. This woman here walking with her bag, and you can see the movement feels dynamic. This guy over here. So overall, and this woman, older woman with a backpack with this large hat. This is really what I strive for, and so I thought it would be cool to share it with you. What I'm gonna do is remove the tape later on. You can see this on IGTV. Now I know some of you are not on Instagram and IGTV, that's fine. I'll try and also share the final piece here on YouTube. You can see all of those under the community tab. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this one. Let me know in a comment below what you think, and now it's time to wrap it up. So this is it. I really hope you enjoyed seeing this painting and how I approached it, learning more about how I approached it. I'm sorry that I didn't record the process. I may do another study of the same scene. But again, a very beautiful picture that inspired me to take a more of a loose approach. And I was finally able to reduce the details, reduce all of the other things that I usually feel like I'm a bit too tight about. And again, this is my personal choice. This is what I like. And I think I was able to convey that in this video. Nothing wrong with any other style. In fact, it's just that this is what I enjoy seeing the most. And I want to develop these qualities in my own work. Okay, so let me know what you think of this one and this kind of a quick video. I just wanted to really share this moment with you because I feel like I may be able to translate this to other scenes that aren't as obvious, that could fit in this more of a looser approach. So in any case, thank you so much. I really appreciate you listening and watching the video. If this is the first one by any chance, check out my other videos because I have a lot of actual tutorials showing how I do what I do. I have the Painting Masters series and all sorts of things that I share in the painting and art sphere. Also, make sure, again, I mentioned this before, that you follow me on Instagram because a lot of things have been happening there. If you have any questions for me, there is the best spot to do it. You can send me a direct message or you can leave a comment and I'll be happy to help with anything. So thank you so much and I will see you again in another vid real soon.